Hi everyone and welcome to our EdTech Tuesdays. Today we're going to be building your ECR chatbots for using the power of ChatGPT or technically any chatbot at all. My name is Valentin Guerra. Along with me is Deborah Pingle. We are our two elementary instructional technology specialists. And if you have any questions during the training, just feel free to put them on the chat. Debbie and myself will be looking at them and trying to answer as soon as we can. So some housekeeping rules, make sure you keep your mic muted. Also try to turn off your camera. Feel free to type any questions in the chat section. If you have not registered on the professional development system, please do so and go to session 343-267. Remember to use the remote checking code PSJA Tech on the PD system so you can get credit for the class. Also, if you use the code FL3CE on Nearpod, you can follow along while I'm going through this. And at the end, we have some questions. That's the way you will get our door prize drawing. So again, it's FL3CE on Nearpod. And I'm going to copy the link one more time and just putting it right here. So let's start. So it's chatbots. If you have never heard of what a chatbot is, it's just an AI tool where you communicate with a large language model. And we talked about that before, but what we're going to be using it today is for ECR, Extended Constructive Response questions that are part of the STAR 2.0. Now, they can help us preparing and grading these type of responses if we build it correctly. So in this presentation, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT. I'm going to maybe talk a little bit about Magic School as well, but we could be focusing on ECR responses for 3rd through 5th grade, and the writing TEKS on writing for 3rd through 5th grade on RLA. So let's understand a little bit of ECR and STAR 2.0. So ECR stands for Extended Constructive Response. We are assessing the writing skills in students in grades 3 to 5. Now, some of our 2nd grade students will start using some of the responses as well. So if you're a 2nd grade teacher, this might be really good for you to learn. It focuses on expository and persuasive writing, and we're going to be aligning it with the TEKS Essential Knowledge and Skills, also known as TEKS. And this actually allows students to compose well-structured and detailed responses. So key writing, the TEKS for grade 3 to 5 are as follows. We have TEKS 7C in all 3 grade levels that use the writing prompt to compose the text. 12B, which is persuasive text and influence attitudes and actions, and 12C, which is write about personal experiences or events, emphasizing on writing processes and persuasive reflective writing. Now, why do we talk about the TEKS? We're going to be possibly also creating, if time allows, some passages on a specific TEKS that we want to do and give the a la STAR way of the prompting and using the rubric from the start. So if we focus on the TEKS, we know what the students are going to be assessed on when the passages are created with AI. So one of the first step of building your AI chatbot, you're going to have to create or give the passage the students will read. Then the prompt the students will respond to. The rubric that TEA provides us for informational or argumentative text. Provide a baseline or scores already done for responses that are scored 0 to 5. And there's only one response for 0 and one response for 5. But there are multiple ways to score a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Am I correct? Yeah. So then we need to make sure that we provide different, because there's 2 parts of the rubric. One is worth 3 points and one is worth 2 points. So there's a different combinations to get the 4 to 1 score. And then we're going to provide the individual student responses to the chatbot after we build. So think about creating a toolbox where every single tool that we want to use goes into this chatbot so it doesn't go away. So the next step on creating your chatbot, and we will give you access to this. If you are logged in right now to the Nearpod, you can see that this moves a little. So this provides you a link to go to a share folder on my Google Drive where you will have all the resources and the documents that I will be using for today's presentation. So step 2 is train your chatbot. You're going to analyze the student responses based on the rubric, provide scores according to rubric specifics, generate teacher feedback for each student, but you're not going to generate it. The AI will do it for you. And also offer suggestions for direct student feedback. So feedback for you as a teacher from the AI for the student response, and then the AI will generate feedback for you to provide to the student. So we will be using the chatbot for grading. So you will input the student responses into the chatbot after you build the whole information that you want. We're going to give them, like I said, we want to give them the passage, we want to give them the student prompt, the rubric from STAR, and we want to give them that baseline of responses. Now, the chatbot will analyze, and what we give all that information, and we want to make sure that it uses only that information and not information that is outside from that, because it will always try to respond with as much information as it has, even if it's not the one that you provided. It is a large language model. So we're limiting and we're telling it only use this information that I'm providing you. Now the chatbot will provide scores and specific feedback. Like I said, it will provide feedback for you as a teacher in different voice than the feedback that you can use to provide for the student automatically, and I'll show you exactly how to prompt this. It will offer suggestions for the students for improvement, and it will save you as a teacher time, and it will provide you with consistent grading. Now, one of the things that I will tell you, it will take a little bit of time to build it, so always, any information that is provided by you by the AI, you want to read it, make sure that it's accurate. And if it's not how you want it, or if you don't think that is, provide that feedback to the AI chatbot, and that will keep on training. We are training that chatbot how we want. So after that, we're going to do passages with AI, and we will allow the AI to generate passages aligned to the TEKS that we were discussing around for 3rd through 5th. We specify the grade level and focus on expository or persuasive. Ensure passages are appropriate to ECR questions, and review everything that the AI is giving you. Now, this will provide the students in a way, more ways to practice ECR responses, for example, for homework. A lot of you already provide the students with homework, or maybe not, but think about if you provide your students at least once a week, one passage that they can read and they can respond to it in Google Classroom. And then you can just grab and copy and paste those responses in this chatbot that you created to automatically grade them, give you feedback for teacher, feedback for student, and give you the scores by the rubric of STAR. It will save you a lot of time, but it will also give your students a lot of practice. We'll be discussing a little bit about the template that the students are being asked to use. So we're talking about the race-sera strategy. So in the paragraph, the first paragraph response, the student will restate the question that is asked on the prompt and then answer the questions. In paragraph 2, the students will cite evidence, an example of saying, in paragraph blank, the author says this, and explain how this supports the answer that you're having. Paragraph 3 will be cite additional evidence. In addition, in paragraph blank, the author says, so will provide a 4-paragraph response that the students can use for their ECR responses. So the benefits of using an ECR chatbot is consistent grading across multiple responses, time saving for teachers, detailed feedback for students, alignment to the TEKS and the STAR 2.0 requirements, and the opportunity for students to practice AI-generated prompts as well, saving time for teachers as well. And these are some of the best practices for ECR chatbot use. Regularly update information. So the more you keep on talking back and forth with the AI, the more you're training it. Cross-check the grading with the manual grading periodically. So make sure that if you have some responses already for the passage, see that. But I will also teach you right now how to have the AI generate responses on those 0 to 5 ways to score it automatically, and use them as a baseline if we're creating a passage from scratch with a chatbot. And we want to also encourage the students to use the strategy that our coordinators are teaching our teachers to be able to have our students use it, the race-sera strategy, into their responses. and continuously refine the prompts and rubrics for ultimate results. I believe that we're about to go live. So I'm going to go live and then I'll come back. So let's do it live and then I'll talk about challenges and considerations. So I'm going to grab here and just go to ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, you're allowed to use it in the district. So just make sure that you sign in with your PSJA credentials. If you see this icon that looks like a paperclip, that means that you can add a file or an image automatically in it. So you don't have to copy and paste everything. So I'm going to grab some of the files that I got by our amazing RLA English coordinator, which is right here, Carla Rodriguez. She provided me several files, and these are the ones that are available to you that I shared with you on that folder that clicks. So we have second grade information, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade, and then we have the templates for the Racer app, and then the informational and the argumentative rubrics from TEA. So I am going to say, let's start with one of these passages. Let's say, Ms. Garcia, do you have a preference for me to do second, third, fourth, and fifth? Or Mr. Elizondo, the first one that I answered?
Yes, second.
Okay. What grade level?
Second or third, that's fine.
I'll do third grade right now. And what I'm going to be uploading, I'm going to show you right now what it is. So first is the informational passage that comes from New CLA that, if I'm not correct, Carla will tell me, but I believe this is for this upcoming week, Carla? The Deserts Explained, this is for third grade?
Hi, yes, it's for week 2, I believe.
Week 2.
No, it's next week.
It's next week. So this is for next week. And we also already have the prompt that was provided by us that explained the Desert Explained, and it gives the questions in here. So I'm going to grab this information and put it in the chatbot. So if you see here, I'm going to attach the file, upload it for computer. And first, I'm going to go to my downloads and select my ECR documents. I'm going to grab the informational Nucella article. So what am I going to tell the chatbot? This is when we're talking about prompting. So I will always start with, hey, ChatGPT, I need your help in creating, I'm just going to say, in grading my third grade students' ECR responses. I'm going to provide you the following information. 1. So I want to be as specific as I can. Did you see I misspelled information, but it will automatically know that I'm trying to say information. Passage students will read attached on this prompt. Oops. I put enter way too early. I will also provide you now the following items. The prompt the students will use to respond, the prompt the students will respond to after reading the passage. And then I'm going to provide you the STAR rubric for informational texts. This rubric is divided into 2 parts. And then after you get all this information, we will continue. All right, so now let's provide the prompt. And I'm going to upload it from here, and it will be this one that says ECR Informational Deserts. Here is the prompt students will respond to. Very good. So now I'm going to provide the rubric, which is this one. But I want to specify in here just so there's no misconceptions. Here is the rubric. Remember that it's 2 parts. It's organization and development, from scores from 0 to 3, and conventions, scores from 0 to 2, maximum score 5. Now it's telling me the information about the rubric itself, and I like that because it's telling me that it understands what it's talking about. So we provided already very important information to the AI. So right now, I'm going to ask it to use also, and for right now I'm going to create some student baseline responses, and I'm going to be doing it by providing the Race or Ask strategy rubric, which is right here. Doesn't let me add it, so I'm just going to have to copy and paste it. And the reason it doesn't let me add it is because I have the free version of ChatGPT, and I can only upload up to certain things. So I'm just going to put it in here, and I can just copy and paste it. Here is the Race Surah strategy. It is divided into 4 paragraphs students use to answer this prompt. Please make sure you understand how students are asked to respond. So if you provide student responses, I'll help you grade it. But I don't have student responses for this. So for this type of chatbot creation, I'm going to actually ask the chatbot to give me a baseline. Let's create a baseline of what 3rd grade students respond to be able to score our students' answers correctly. Please provide me with multiple answers. 1 for score of 5 and 1 for 0. Notice that there are multiple ways to score 1, 2, 3, and 4. Provide me as many ways they can with the 2-part rubric. Remember that these responses are 3rd grade students. So answer as 1. So it's giving me the score of 5 for Organization and Development 3 and Conventions 2. And it's using the Race-A-Rah. The Fennec Fox, so the prompt itself, it tells us right here that the prompt was explain how the Fennec Fox has adapted to living in the desert. Write a well-organized informational composition that uses specific evidence. So let's see how it responded. The Fennec Fox has adapted to living in the desert by having special behaviors to help it survive. So that will be the first question. The question was, has adapted how? So it has adapted to it by having special behaviors that help it survive. Paragraph 2, the CE, which is we write what the author says and then we explain how to support that. So to begin, in paragraph 6, the author says the Fennec Fox wakes and hunts at night. This way it avoids the punishing sun. This means that the Fennec Fox stays cool because it doesn't have to be out during the hot day. In addition, in paragraph 6, the author says that many desert animals are nocturnal. This shows that by coming out only at night, the Fennec Fox has survived the desert's harsh heat and lack of water. Paragraph 4, in conclusion, the Fennec Fox has adapted to living in the desert by hunting at night to avoid the heat. So it did exactly how we're asking our students to do the Race-A-Rah strategy. So now let's do a score of 0. The Fennec Fox lives in the desert is hot, some animals don't come out in the day. Score of 1 in Organization and Development. Score of 2, that's a 3. That's a 4. That's another 4. So it only gave me 2 versions of 4, 1 version of 1, and 1 version of 3. We can ask if we want more baseline. Remember that to get a 3, we can also get a 2 in convention and 1 in organization. And to get a score of 2, we can get 1 on each or 2 and 0 on both of the rubric sections. So then it tells me that I'm absolutely right, and it gives me another score of 3, which is Organizational Development 1 and Conventions 2. It provides me all the information in there and then some feedback in here on why this was scored like that. 2-1-1, 2-1-0. And 1-1, perfect. So I have about 7 minutes left, and I do want to show you how this scores. So I'm going to grab just one of this example. Let's do the 3. I'm going to tell you, now I need you to score the following response. I need you to first provide me the score out of 5 rubric. Then I need you to provide me as a 3rd grade teacher feedback where I should focus to help my students. And lastly, feedback to my students on how they can improve and what they did great. Tell me that you understand what you will do before I provide you the answers. So now I'm still training the chatbot right now. I'm not, ultimately you're always making sure that everything is correct. So it's telling right here, I understand, I'll assess the response using the STAR rubric, giving a score out of 5 based on the organizational development. I'll provide tailored to you as a teacher, focusing on the areas of student needs improvement, common errors, and what the target and future lessons help improve, and the student feedback. I'm going to tell them in here because she didn't tell me that they're going to be using also the passage. Make sure you also use the information of the passage to score the response alongside the rubric and alongside the question asked on the prompt above. Perfect. So now I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to take the paragraph 1, 2 like this out, just so I'm not giving how it was worked out before. But I do want to tell it that this is my first student, Deborah Pingle. Sign the feedback to student as Professor Master Guerra. So it's giving me the score 3 out of 5, which was actually the baseline that I was created. And it tells me that score 3 out of 5, which was actually the baseline that I was created. And it tells me that Deborah's response has a central idea and is organized in 4 paragraphs as required. References the Phoenix Fox adaptation for being nocturnal. Conventions are right there. Then my teacher feedback has a good grasp of basic structure and key ideas needed to respond. So as a teacher, always read it, but it gives you all that information that you need, so you're not having to overthink. And then this can be the response that you give to your students. Deborah, great job. You clearly explain how the fennec fox has adapted living in the desert. Add more explanation. This is how you can make it stronger. All this is just given to you by the AI. So I don't see any questions right now on here. I didn't get to do as much as I want, but I gave you the basics on how to start building your chatbot, and you see all the responses that you want. Imagine if you do this and you post it in your students' Google Classroom, they respond to you, and after you build it, then you just shoot and shoot and shoot. And this is what you get. So like even I can just grab this one, and then this is Sinaida's response. So it always gives a positive, and I like that for the students. And it gives you in there what you can work on the students. You can even later on, like, what strategies or activities can I use to help this student? First, it's going to tell me, first make sure that you know how to spell. So these are some, like the modeling the race around strategy, focus mini lessons, and everything is already there provided for you. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go back here because I have 2 minutes and Debbie already told me. So challenges and consideration, make sure that the AI generated content is grade appropriate. Maintain a balance between AI assistant and your expertise because you are the expert. Remember to always read and verify all AI generated content. You are the rater. Make sure that it is correct. ECR chatbots can significantly enhance STAR 2.0 preparation. Implement the chatbot in your classroom gradually, but this is just for you. You're not going to give it to the students. So your response is just, it's giving you that extra power, that assistant that you will need to be able to give you that more time. Gather the feedback from the students and adjust it if needed, and continue to develop and maximize anything as you want with this AI. Now we went live already. So now, for those of you who are here and that just got here, we are having 3 questions for a time to climb. And if you haven't logged in, make sure you log in right now. We are going to start, and the winner of the time to climb will be able to get our door prize. So go ahead and log into Nearpod. I have 1 student connected. Let's see, I have 2 students connected. Very good. Let's see if you guys paid attention. Do I have anybody else that wants to connect? Perfect. I'm going to start because it's already 5. Here we go. Question 1. What is one of the steps involved in building the ECR chatbot. Training the chatbot to analyze student responses. Very good. What is the purpose of using AI to generate messages? All right, here we go. And the last question. What is the strategy? What strategy is encouraged for students in their ECR response? What is the strategy? What strategy is encouraged for students in their ECR responses according to the best practices outlined? Come on, you all can get this one. Not just a single line. Let's finish today. And our winner is Mr. Conrad. Congratulations. All answers correct. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let me see. I do have that research folder. We will share these slides with you as well. Let me just share one. At the end, there's again the resource folder in here. If you have any questions, feel free to chat with us and let us know. Message me, Debbie, Sanaida. We're here to support you. And always, you can see our recordings on our YouTube channel where we upload them within the week. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.